Hello guys, and welcome to the VR Inside podcast. So this is episode number 4. So I can't believe we're on episode number 4 already. Literally feels like we only started last week. So this has been really cool and really good fun so far. So I hope you guys that are joining us in the live stream are enjoying this too. So as you will know, this is a weekly podcast that is streamed live every Saturday on Nathie's channel. You can tune into the show at 4 p.m. Central European Summer Time, 3 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, and 9 a.m. Pacific Time. And if you missed the podcast for whatever reason, you're busy on a Saturday, appreciate a lot of people got a lot of stuff going on in their lives. You can check out the podcast on my channel, which I upload on a Sunday. So I'll be uploading that to my channel tomorrow, so you can catch up there. If you've got any comments or questions, chuck them in the chat and we'll try our best whilst we're having a discussion to sort of keep popping in and out to answer some of your guys' questions. So in today's episode, we've got a few topics to talk about. We've got the Oculus returns policy. We've got From Other Suns open beta, which is running this weekend. We've got budget cuts that has been delayed. We want to talk about the Z Mini AR. PSVR year anniversary and Rec Room is coming to PSVR. So we've got a lot of stuff to talk about, guys. So I just want to sort of like get the introductions out of the way. Obviously, the man that needs no introduction, Nathie, if that is his real name.
We're still not sure.
I'm looking a little different. I'm still Nathie.
Yeah.
That's how I feel like, at least. So,
yeah. Apparently, once you get over 250k subscribers, you've got to change your hair color. It's mandatory on YouTube nowadays.
Most people know it's like a blue or a pink or a color that most real people can't have. Nathie likes to keep it real. You know,
keeping it real.
It kind of looks real, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks good.
Yeah, it's nice, man. It's nice. So thanks again, Nathie, for hosting this podcast on your channel. Really cool of you, dude. We've got PSVR Frank, or should we now call him PCVR Frank, because he has now joined the PC Master Race and now has a PC and is running a HTC Vive and an Oculus Rift. How you doing, bro? You all right?
Doing well, Mike. Pleasure to be here.
Nice, man. We've got Austin. That is his real name. The Brometheus. How you doing, dude? You all right?
I'm doing real good.
That's cool,
Absolutely. Man. Happy to be here.
Unfortunately, Rowdy isn't here today. He couldn't make it. He is currently at Games Force in Brussels. He's going to be showing everyone there how to break out of a prison in real life. So, you know, he is the prison boss. He's doing a live demo there. This is what I've heard. It's rumor only. It's rumor only. Wow. It's not being confirmed by the Rowdy man himself, but this is what I'm hearing. So I just wanted to throw that out there. And last but not least, myself, Mike from Virtual Reality Oasis. So let's kick off the show, guys. How are you all doing today?
Well, I missed Rowdy a bit.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, we do. We missed the Rowdy.
I'll just cry myself asleep a little bit without Rowdy, but other than that, I'm doing okay.
Let's hope.
As you can see on the podcast, he got like blocked by YouTube. You know, we're not allowed to talk to him anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. He got his privileges taken away.
He's not advertiser friendly. That's the problem. So,
so we
sorry,
can't
guys.
We can't even associate with him anymore. Otherwise, we all get hit with the ban hammer, right? So. So this is the circle of trust, and Rowdy's here right now. So.
C-Top says he'll come on and pretend to be Rowdy. That's good enough, right?
Oh, C-Top, if you'd given us
in my book,
if you'd have given us some notice, man, you would have been welcome on the show, dude. You'd have been welcome on the show. Maybe next time we've got a spot, you can jump on.
Yeah. No, sounds good.
So jumping straight into it then, guys, Oculus have finally caught up with how sort of marketplaces work and sort of jumped in line with Steam. So they've got this new Oculus returns policy now, so it's been a long time coming. But just like on Steam, now they've got this refund system, so it's available worldwide on the Oculus Rift and Gear VR. And essentially what it means is that if you buy a game and you don't particularly enjoy it for whatever reason, as long as it's within 14 days and you've played the game or experience for less than 2 hours, then you can get an automatic refund, which is really cool, and it's something that has been a long time coming. So what do you guys think of that?
They didn't have any return policy before?
That's what I was wondering. Nothing?
No, so only previous to this, which was last week, that this actually changed. It was only available in the UK. So for people like me, it was fine. But for the rest of the world, unfortunately, no.
No.
So it's the same as like the Steam one then. It has the 2-hour limit. Is that what you said?
Exactly
Or
the same as Steam
okay.
right now. Yeah, yeah.
All right, fair enough.
So that's really good.
Does Steam get a lot of those like people played for an hour and 45 minutes just to kind of like get in there? You know what I mean? So I wonder if that's going to start happening much more often. That's what they open themselves up to, which is fine. I guess you got to do it. PlayStation still don't even have anything. You got to like complain to the company and you might get a refund. So it's cool to see that. Nice. It's just hope less people take advantage.
People are going to take advantage of just about any system, but I would at least like people to have the option. I mean, if you get ripped off, some of these VR games are so overpriced that at least having the option to be like, hey, I just spent $60 or $40 on something that has like 1 hour of value. It's probably a good idea then to have the option to refund.
No, but that's funny. Like on PC, we get ripped off a lot, but on console, they just know how it works. You know, they don't rip people off. Like Frank, right? You never. Like how many times
I haven't had any games that I was just like, oh, like I'm so angry, I just want to get this money back. Like, I mean, they've been like, oh, it sucked, but whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never been like, I demand a refund for this title.
Right. Yeah. Because normally it's flushed out enough when something hits like a PlayStation market, especially because Sony does a good job of like vetting most of the stuff that gets on there. I mean, I did play a VR ping pong game that was pretty trash, but other than that, I will say that just about everything I've seen on the market is at least within the ballpark of, you know, the value that it's worth. So you're not like hit over the head with some ridiculous price. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a game or two, but you're right, exactly.
I think the thing that worried me about this is that like a lot of VR experiences aren't particularly that long. So, you know, in some instances you could probably like complete a game and then like just take advantage of the system and get a full refund on a game that you've probably enjoyed and finished. I think that's the only thing that concerns me, just because of the nature of VR titles right now being very sort of quick, and then it's kind of over with.
Most games you can knock out in 2 hours, easy.
Yeah.
It's true.
That's a good motivation for the developers to make a good, decent
longer game. Then we're gonna start seeing like 2.5-hour story games just to like hit that point.
like a time or two, like
it's like exactly more.
Hey, play a little tiny bit more. Why not? Here's a loot box.
Yeah, and you've got tons of mini movies, and they're all like 15 minutes long.
Yeah, exactly.
Really padded, you know what I mean?
You can't skip.
But also it's like a voice that tells you, like, just keep in the game for. Wait, no, don't leave yet. I got more to tell. I got another joke.
It's trickery. It's going to devolve into trickery.
Yeah, it's gonna be like time bait. That's what it's gonna be called.
Yeah, you're gonna like want to X out. It's gonna be like, are you sure you don't want a level upgrade?
Time baiting, the new VR craze.
Exactly.
I love it.
You heard it here first, guys. You heard it here first.
We've literally already named it before it's even started.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So information is the key.
So that is the Oculus returns policy that we can all enjoy and hopefully not take too much advantage of. So maybe a game that we won't be refunding because we hope it's going to be absolutely awesome, and that is From Other Suns. There's been loads of talk about this game over the last 24 hours. What do you guys know about this game? Have any of you actually tried it yet, before I sort of jump in?
Yes.
Okay.
I tried it.
Okay.
Yeah. I got to rock out with some of the beta time. It was cool. I like the inventory. That is the one thing that just keeps popping out to me because it really, really worked well. A lot of other things, I'm excited to see what they develop and if they develop them. But the inventory is awesome.
Okay, cool.
And they allowed for like smooth and locomotion, which is always cool.
Okay, nice. So I just want to sort of just explain to the audience what this game is all about. So From Other Suns is like an Oculus exclusive title made by Gunfire Games. They're the studio that brought us Chronos, which was a really, really cool title that launched when the Rift launched. It was one of those kind of games that you just use a controller, but it was a really nice RPG game where you kind of controlled the camera with your head, and it was really, really cool, and a lot of people really enjoyed that game. So also, they developed Dead and Buried, which was one of the titles when Touch came out, which was, again, really, really popular, but it seems to have died a little bit. Like, the community behind that, unfortunately, seems to have died a bit.
Dead and Buried was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a really fun game. I thought it was fun. But
I remember seeing Nathie playing it, and I got really excited because that was one of the first Oculus Touch games to come out, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it has mixed reality support now, if you missed that. If you wanted to see Oculus produce a really poor mixed reality video, you can check out their trailer for that.
Whoa. Hold the phone.
I saw that.
Is Nathie live putting up a video of this as we're also streaming?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. That's how we're doing it now, bro.
We got like a full production team back
there?
Boy. I'm doing that. You like that?
on?
You like that video?
Woo! I just got
a
half chub. That's awesome.
I got like a control room here now with buttons like
you need a stream deck now.
Red is Rowdy live from GeForce escaping. You know, I got all kinds of buttons here.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, but I like the game. It's like Star Trek bridge crew, but then you can actually get off your chair and move away from your spaceship. It's just that I'm wondering how much content is there. This is just a basic demo kind of thing, open beta. So I'm like, how random is it generated? How much fun is it when it gets generated again? Is it really different compared to? So I'm like, hey, if I can really explore planets and beam myself back into the spaceship and talk to, for example, Frank, and he needs to fix something, and you really got that teamwork going on. Then yeah, but when I played it, it's really fun, but I'm missing the roles. Like, how do you really, what is Frank, for example, in my team? So it's not really assigning anything to anyone. So that's what they should do to keep it more like less chaotic, because my ship blew up twice. So I don't know.
So you're gonna want to leave somebody like on the ship and send other people back, right?
That would sound really cool.
Yeah, that sounds cool. You're right. And they're like, oh, fix the engine. They're shooting at us right now. Well, yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
Let's hope
just
they develop
communicating
that
through a radio and have some like noise on it too, where you can't hear them anymore because you're
What
fighting.
game is this again?
From
other suns.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you got to check it out, bro. You got 2 days left.
All right. I think I got a key to that.
Oh no, it's free beta. It's free beta.
Yeah. Ooh, that's even better.
Yeah, and it works on Revive apparently.
Yeah.
So yeah, for those that you don't know, the open beta runs from yesterday, which is the 29th of September, and it will end on the 1st of October. So if you want to get in on the open beta, now is the time to do it. It's quite a big download. I think it's worked 20 gigabytes. So it's a bit of a hefty download just to try something out.
It's pretty big.
Wow.
From what I've heard, people are digging it so far, like you guys say. It's like a co-op shooter. I think it's probably best enjoyed with other players that you know. A bit like Star Trek Bridge Crew was. You kind of need a cool team that you can rely on. And it's kind of been described as a mix between Star Trek Bridge Crew, FTL, and Borderlands. So I'm kind of digging that kind of like description of the game.
So why Borderlands?
So from what I've heard, you can unlock different weapons. Is that right?
Yeah, there's tons of like random weapons, you know what I mean? So I think that's why they're calling it Borderlandsy. Like I had one that like shot like these weird like lightning bolt things, and then a scatter shot, and then the random pistol, and then there was like a flamethrowery thing. So it's just you find like and a cool shield thing. The shield was pretty cool. But yeah, so there was a pretty decent variety in weapons in just the 3 levels that I played. So maybe that's what they're saying.
Yeah, and they said that there's like you can get a lot of loot in the game, but is the loot just weapons, or is there other in-game items as well?
Like you had to find key cards to open doors. There was like stim packs. They had these like little hack things that you could like use to hack the systems to like take the inventory from some ship that you'd like broken into and then transfer it back to your ship. So they're building a cool system. But that's like Nathie said, we just got to see how well they'd like to get it all together and like what they do to make us enticed to. Because right now I like pressed the jump and I was like, okay, like I jumped here, but I didn't have any kind of like final destination. I could tell that like I think you're trying to move towards Earth is your end goal, and like because you can see there's like a certain percent towards Earth, and so maybe that's what we're all working towards. Like there's going to be some big end plot at Earth. I don't know, but
No Man's Sky.
Yeah, that's what
I also thought about. But I mean, if you are going to focus on that, then your expectations are going to be a bit too high.
Yeah.
Because I mean, No Man's Sky wasn't that great in the end. They redeemed themselves because right now it's a lot better. Mm-hmm. But it's like, with VR games, you can't expect the size of that. But it's already like 20 gigabytes. I don't really get why it's already 20 gigabytes. of like, what is so big about this game right now? We don't really see that much. Maybe they locked stuff for us, and it's in there, but we just can't really play it.
Yeah, I mean, visually it's nice. It looks good, but it's not like.
And how long has it been in development as well? That's what I'm wondering. How long have they been working on this? Is just something they cooked up like for 3 months now, and then they're like, hey, let's just throw it out there and just see what people think about it.
I think from what I've read, they've been working on this for a long, long time.
That's what I thought too. Yeah.
It's like I heard about it like a long time ago. It's just that like suddenly this is out there. So
it is probably worth mentioning that we're at the stage now where like with certain VR headsets like the Oculus Rift and the HTC Vive, they've been in the market for so long that people could have been making games like since it came out, and we are just now hearing about it because they're finally getting to the point of that stage of their development. So it's like a lot of games that are like AAA or just really high quality take a very long time to make, especially if they're smaller teams. So I'm not surprised that some of these potentially amazing games, especially with higher quality, could be just now being heard about,
Yeah, that's right.
I think that they're just now starting to get made too. I think that we're fine. Like this year proved that VR is here to stay, and I think that in this next year we're going to see way more like money developers putting some titles out because they're like, okay, if an indie studio can make over $1 million with some game about working at jobs, like we can do this. You know what I mean? And so I think that we're going to start seeing better stuff soon. But yeah, you're right, bro. I think that the better stuff's been in production for years already.
That's what gets me excited.
So some more of the description of this game. So they say you can jump in with 3 other players in co-op. So you can have sort of 3 players in total. So that's yourself and 2 friends. You can tour the sector, upgrading your ship, stockpiling weapons, and fighting for your lives. When you all die, you'll discover new challenges in your next playthrough. Fight and save humanity, or just joyride through the galaxy until its extinction. You're cool. I love that last bit. It's so funny. Just joyride through the galaxy. I like the sound of that. But yeah, like you guys have mentioned, it's procedurally generated. So they state that, it's not going to be the same playthrough twice. But like you say, Nathie, like how much variety is there going to be in that procedurally generated stuff? We don't know yet. But
we're back to No Man's Sky at that point,
Exactly.
It's coming back.
Yeah.
Oh God.
It can be done really well, or it can be done poorly, and there's something that with that.
But it also depends on how much you hype it up, of course.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
But like I say, because it's from Gunfire Games, they did a solid with Kronos, and Dead and Buried was a lot of fun, and the shooting mechanics were really, really cool. So maybe they could actually pull this one off. I really hope so. I'm looking forward to checking out this game. I'm going to play it later on this afternoon and probably record a video. So we'll just see what I have to think about it after I've actually had some hands-on time with the game.
Yeah,
it's fun. You'll like it. It's fun.
Yeah. Just interestingly, before I move on, actually, how do you find it compared to the other recent co-op shooter that came out, Gunheart?
I loved Gunheart. I haven't played this new one, but Gunheart was amazing.
Yeah.
Do you still play Gunheart, Burma?
Well, here's the thing. I have just as of yesterday managed to get another video done. Like it went out today. I hadn't had one in like weeks with this new job and the training and everything. But I will say there were multiple times where I remembered actually thinking I'd really like to be playing Gunheart right now. It's a very fun game, and there aren't many games that actually, especially in VR, there aren't many games that you're actively thinking about wanting to play again. And Gunheart was one that just like, when they launched it, it felt a high enough quality to where I already was willing to kind of invest myself in it a little bit. Like you grind in it a lot, but the payoff feels good. When you get like that 6,000 credit upgrade for your shotgun and you're watching everything fly back, like it feels good, and it feels like that grind paid off. And I'm the kind of guy who really likes that like grind reward aspect, as long as it's not like all the pay to win garbage and all that. That being said, Gunheart seemed like a really good game, and if this game that you guys are talking about has any kind of similarity to that, especially with the scope of what they're trying to do, I feel like it would be an amazing game to play. That's why I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're gonna like it though.
I remember you played a lot of Gunheart during your 24-hour live stream.
Yeah.
That was legit,
a lot
man.
of fun. Yeah, and Paradise Decay played with me as well. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think me and Paradise Decay are actually going to be playing this one together from Other Suns later on today. So
nice.
Cool to check it out. Yeah. So moving on to another game, but unfortunately this game isn't going to be available anytime soon because it was delayed. It was being pushed back into early 2018, and that is Budget Cuts. This was a one that came out a while ago. You could play the demo for free on Steam, and a lot of people had a lot of fun with it, but unfortunately it's been delayed. But also the developers were being very, very quiet, and I think it took one of the sort of sites, the news sites, to sort of reach out to them and say, hey, what's going on? And they actually said, oh, no, we are still working on this game. We are sort of head down, focused on development right now, and it's going to be released in 2018. So I never actually played the Budget Cuts demo, but it's available for free on Steam right now. Did any of you guys check this one out?
Yeah. You guys always say good things, don't you?
Sorry?
That's what I thought. I've always heard good things about Budget Cuts. I haven't checked it out either.
No, it's really good. It's just that I played it a couple of times, and it's really cool, especially if it's like one of your first games you play on your Vive or Rift. I do feel like what is like on the table now, or what you can still play, is kind of outdated and doesn't really meet up to the expectations of like. Maybe you are kind of late with the whole, because people said like, the concept is really cool of teleportation, because you teleport, you don't walk, you just look through portals and then go to the next. But I've seen so many other games doing this as well now, and found other ways of teleportation that is kind of cool, that I'm like, you're kind of late to the party, people have like high expectations. Has it been delayed because they need to add more, or are they kind of desperate trying to find a new way to bring this game to the public that is used to VR right now, So that's the thing. But I liked it based on what I played. It's cool, but right now I'm not sure if it would still work, I'm like,
yeah.
Do you think that they need to focus? Do you think that they need to focus on like a new audience, or do you think they need to focus because new people to the headset are still going to like it, right? But there's still those people that have been around forever. That's the point. That's what I'm wondering.
Well, I mean, if the people, like the new people, are going to love this, I mean, the people that play for a while now, maybe they will have to come up with some stuff that is going to be a bit more exciting. I don't know. It's just that when this game could have come out like at the start when the Vive came out, it would have blown up for sure. But now I think that the whole bomb that is going to explode of this like hype is going to be much smaller, because they keep on delaying this. And they haven't really been transparent to the people that were interested in this game. They were kind of like radio silent about it.
They might have spent all this time, like they might have thought the same thing that we thought. Like maybe they, after so much time of delays and everything, realize that, okay, this teleporting around, you're throwing some knives, you're being stealthy and all that, but it's not new anymore. And the novelty of it will already be gone by the time it release. So maybe all these delays are because they're trying to kind of swing it in a new direction or add a lot of new features or something. That's what I'm hoping for, at least. Maybe they'll kind of like pivot a little bit and make it something even more innovative. I mean, they're the first people to think of, this idea of, you shoot the ball and you can look through where you're going and stuff. I thought that was really cool and very it made a lot of sense, and it made it feel like very innovative. So I'd be interested to see what does end up coming out, because it could be completely different than what we expected it to be based off of what we saw before.
Well, they got something to hide for sure, because otherwise they were just putting patches on Steam showing what they were working on and what they were doing, I really had to ask on my Twitter a couple of months ago, what happened to Budget Cuts and what happened to the development studio. And then they just told me we're still working on it. Then tell everyone that you are still working on it, because otherwise we don't know.
Yeah, and people
this game, this is one of the oldest releases ever. This was going to come out on maybe a few weeks after the Vive came out. It's like one and a half years ago. So
it was one of the games that initially hyped the Vive. I mean, I remember seeing that and being like, "Oh my god, I have to be a part of that. That looks like so much fun."
But it would have been a killer app for sure. I mean, back then I was like, wow, I can just look through the fence and I can throw stuff. And I was really feeling like I was inside a room and doing things. And I don't know. It's kind of strange that, I mean, as a development studio, if you want to keep your people interested that want to buy it in the end, then you need to keep them hooked in a way and keep them updated. But right now, so many people forgot about it. You know, so I'm not sure. We will see. It's just like maybe it's gonna be the exact same game where they had no clue anymore what to do, or it's like a total revamped game where the robots aren't even there anymore and you fight something else. I mean, if there is a cool story involved, then it's gonna be okay, but it's never gonna sell as well
as it could have. Yeah.
Yeah. No, true.
So looking at the studio that make budget cuts, I think it's called Neat Corporation. I think they're a very small studio, but like you say, even having a Twitter or some sort of announcement through some sort of social media that, hey, we're still working on the game would benefit. But this was a statement from Marco Pimento, who is the sort of CEO or as such as Neat Corporation. He's like, we're spending minimal time on PR in order to focus on development of the game. Seeing as we're such a small team, this is understandably leads to people wondering about the status. Rest assured, we're still working on the game, a lot. So so he's saying that they're working on the game, but like you say, if they've got even just a Twitter account just to tweet something out to let people know this is still something they need to be interested in and it's still being worked on and they're just trying to make it the best thing that they can, then it's going to make a big difference for them. But just to say nothing and then just to pop up in 6 months time we've got this game out, everyone's going to be moved on and they're going to be looking at something else. So
I mean, as a small development studio, you want to push your game out there as fast as you can, especially when that whole hype is building up, and you got that demo ready where it's like, wow, this is cool. Pretty good. But maybe they just finished a part of their game, or okay, demo out, and they were just totally not ready for it yet.
Yeah.
But I mean, Valve was very excited about that game. I mean, everyone was talking about it. It's just that it's been such a long time ago. They have been waiting for way too long. Then they could have pushed it faster by hiring maybe more people to work on it. Like nowadays, if you got a development studio, you can hire people from other companies to help you out. So I mean, there were possibilities to maybe speed it up.
Yeah. I think the most interesting thing for me about the game, not that I've played the demo, but I've seen some videos of people playing it, and that was the Portal gun itself. It kind of just reminded me of Portal, and you, in a way, it just kind of makes me want a proper Valve Portal game in VR.
Well, that is a thing, isn't it? Isn't there some kind of Portal VR thing?
Yeah, Portal Stories VR. It's a mod.
Exactly. So by the time that Budget Cuts actually comes out, Portal Stories will come out, and no one will even think twice about it.
Yeah, because I'll play Portal.
Maybe that's the case. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But if any of the listeners are out there, I'd be interested to know your thoughts on this Budget Cuts. Is it something that you've played? Have you checked out the demo? Obviously, if you haven't checked out the demo, you can check out the demo for free on Steam. I've heard it's a blast, but we'll have to wait until early next year to see if the actual game itself is going to be any good.
Yeah.
Okay, so just going to move on now to an interesting piece of hardware that I found doing some research. And I don't know if any of you guys have heard about this before, but it's called the Z Mini AR. We've got a little video clip. I think Nathie's going to play it. Basically, it's a piece of hardware, a bit like the Magic Leap, if you guys can remember the Magic Leap that you fixed
the little box, right?
Yeah. So it's a similar little box, but it's got these two googly eye lenses stuck to it. And essentially what it's marketed as is it can turn your virtual reality headset into a mixed reality headset, so that it's capable of not only doing virtual reality, but also doing augmented reality. So it'll have a pass-through. I think it uses USB-C. It's made by a company called Stereo Labs. And basically you affix it to the front of your Rift or your Vive, and then it will do a pass-through so you can see the real world around you, and it can overlay items on that real world and produce an augmented reality view. So what do you guys think of that? Is that something you guys are going to be interested in, or do you just think, why is this thing even
It sounds cool. It sounds really cool.
I mean, I'm looking at this video right now that's playing, right?
Yeah.
If it's anything like that, I'll buy 70 of them. But the problem is, I doubt to an extent that I can't even explain in words that it's going to look like what I'm seeing on the screen right now. I think it's going to be buggy. I doubt it's going to be this clean. Like, I don't know what resolution this thing is at, but I don't know. I have trouble believing that a little box that you attach to your VR headset.
Of course, this is a video from the company, so of course. But you also don't know how old is this video. Maybe this video is pretty old. You know, maybe they developed even more in the end that works better. But of course, I mean, the videos are always more polished than. I like the idea, but it's still that I'm like, this is not. It's not. Yeah, it's mixed reality, but I don't want to call it like that. It's still too confusing. You know. Now we got this thing that is a freaking awesome gadget. I would go for a gadget like this instead of buying yourself a HP or Dell or
another headset. Yeah, for sure.
It depends. I mean, if you already got a headset, then maybe that's a better option. If you don't have a headset yet. But they are not gaming headsets. So, I mean, you have a gaming headset and then you add something augmented reality kind of type to it.
Yeah.
But one thing that I do not really like about this is that it's made for a Rift, it's made for a VIII, maybe some other headsets, but it's not a remote thing. You know, you can't it's not wireless. So in the end, you can play some games in maybe your room or your living room.
But it's
so
not
kind of like
you can't just plug it into like the USB port of the HTC Vive?
No. He means like AR. The whole point is like you can get out of your house and experience.
Oh, yeah. So the whole AR, you're like kind of locked inside, and that's it. So, it's more like a gaming thingy that's fun. But
what you're saying, Nathie, is you want the like the H3 peep and creep headset. You know, like. You know, going down to the beach, peeping and creeping.
Exactly.
That's it. That's it. But I do like it, but it kind of feels like it's a funny hype thing, you know. But how long is this going to be something you want to use? Like, how many games are going to be out there? You know, is it just to show off that this is possible?
Yeah.
You know. Plus, I mean, the Vive. Of course, there's only one camera in there now, a small one. But I expect the next headsets to have this by default because for some reason they seem to be very interested in having a mixed reality function on headsets.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I feel like it's for like the boardroom meetings and stuff, and that's what they're trying to push with the mixed reality. You know what I mean? That's like future PowerPoint. Because that would be really cool if like I went to a place that was trying to sell me on something and they were like, now we could do a standard presentation and they like strapped this thing on and had like a fireworks show with like big meeting boards and stuff. You'd sell like an investor in a heartbeat. So I feel like that is really a focus like for the businessy part.
Yeah, no, true. I think that right now this is a good step towards like having a VR, AR headset and everything is going to come together. Right now with these gadgets, it's kind of cool. It's more like, hey, if you are an early adopter of VR and you want to try something fun, then you can buy this, you know. So it's more like, hey, we just bring it out and try to get info from everyone, what they think and what it should do. And then it's kind of like a fun gadget.
Yeah. So Austin, you said you'd buy 70 of these things. Are you ready for the 70? Are you ready for me to drop the mic on you and tell you how much this thing costs?
I am gonna go talk to my banker real quick.
You're gonna remortgage your house. Yeah. So it's $449 for this.
70 is gonna be a bit of a squeeze for me.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I've already got student loans. I can just add to that. Easy.
Just chuck it on, man. Just chuck it on, and then you'll get all these shipped to you in November when they're shipping.
And you also get controllers, or because I see on the video like a controller he's holding.
No, that's AR, right? It's just the.
He's holding a real gun and it's like copying it on the gun with tracking.
Yeah,
I see.
Exactly.
I see.
Yeah.
So
like you say, I think it's interesting that something like this exists, and especially as we've got all these mixed reality headsets coming out over the next few months. And like you say, Nathie, I think the most important thing about this is that there isn't any software that we've seen that actually takes advantage of using these cameras that are in these mixed reality headsets. So I think it would need some sort of killer application to come out for me to warrant dropping $449 to retrofit this to my Rift to give me the augmented reality option. So yeah, it's a very strange product, but I thought it was an interesting one to talk about. But yeah, like you say, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens with these mixed reality headsets and what kind of experiences and games these developers are cooking up for these devices.
Yeah, true. Yeah, interesting.
So moving on then, guys, to something that's been well established, piece of hardware, and has actually just reached its year anniversary. So we're talking about the PSVR. On the 13th of October next month, it will be a year old, which is crazy.
Hold on, I'm trying to do a 12 gun salute, but I can't.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah,
That's exciting. That is so
which is all,
exciting.
and it's a big sale in the PlayStation Store too, which is nice. So if you're, I have a strong feeling they're going to deduct the price of the headset like $50 for a week or two, but none of that's been said, so I have no idea. But there's also going to be a drop on a lot of, like, I think, like the first round of games. So if you missed any of the original titles, you're going to be able to get a good deal, which is nice. I'm glad they're doing that.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like, if I think about the whole year, what they have been bringing out and what they have been doing, it's like I haven't, like, I usually like to complain about a lot of stuff, but I mean, with PlayStation VR, like, there's almost nothing no bad decisions, and a lot of news out there, like fake news maybe, where it's like, yeah, PlayStation, they don't really know what to do with the VR headset. I mean, they knew what they wanted to do with it. I mean, they were killing at it. It's crazy, like how dedicated that fan base is compared to PC. It's amazing. It's crazy.
Yeah, the people love it. It's really cool. And we're almost at like 2 million, which is nice. I mean, honestly, we could be pretty close to 2 million, and they just haven't said anything yet. But I think by the holidays, it'll definitely be there, which is nuts. And they even had a statement lately where they said that they're like nervous being in the top spot because everybody's judging them. And they even believe in diversity. You know what I mean? Which is kind of, I don't know, which is kind of a crazy thing for a company to have to say.
Yeah, definitely. And it looks like you say, Frank, they're going to be hosting a sale on the PlayStation Store starting on the 10th of October. So a lot of, like you say, the VR titles will be reduced. Hopefully that'll include, like, you know, Resident Evil 7, Farpoint, you know, some of the other great titles available on PSVR as well.
Yeah, and Resident Evil 7's got the new gold edition coming out with all the DLC and the new free DLC that's coming, and pretty much all of it can be played in VR, which is nuts. Also, I'm excited to try that one out on the Vive and the Rift too, and for you guys too, because oh my god, it's so much fun if you haven't played it yet.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, there's definitely one title that I was very, very jelly about when it came out on the PSVR, definitely. And I think a lot of people tried, you know, Vorpex and other mods to try and get it to work on a Rift and the Vive, but
it's not the same.
It's not the same. You're right. It's not the same. You're never going to get it to work as well. But yeah, you know, it's crazy. You know, like you say, you know, 2 million headsets almost. You know, it is you know, the number one VR headset right now. But like you say, it's got a kind of install base of like millions and millions of people that have got a PS4 to play it. So it's really exciting, and I'm glad that they're doing so well, because I think, you know, any success in the VR industry is good for the industry as a whole. And, you know, although I'm a bit of an Oculus fanboy, you know, I think any success in the VR industry is good for everyone.
Yeah, no, true. I think that the PlayStation VR community is also really strong because they never judged about VR in the first place. Like PC, there was already like a whole
master race
in the back, you know, but also people that tried VR before it was getting consumer. So, like, for example, me, it's kind of hard to judge some games because based on what I've played for the last 3 years, this is not really, sometimes it's like a downgrade. Well, with PlayStation VR, it's just a line that goes up and up and up, you know?
Yeah, everything just keeps getting better. It's nice.
It's like the quality control in there is just great. While on Steam VR, they get, and also Oculus Home, they get teased by all kinds of shuffleware.
Yeah, well, that's true.
You know, they are very protective about the PlayStation VR, and I don't know. It's very good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think if you know, if you own a PSVR and you're going to buy something from the PlayStation Store, it's going to be like a legit title. You know, it's not going to be something that's just been thrown together with sort of pre-made assets and sold as something else. You know. Yeah. They're very very strict on that sort of thing, which is good.
They also help a lot of developers, which is nice. They like, even I spoke to one guy, they paid for his entire game. He just had to pay back the money afterward. But they are actively looking for devs in all different countries. They have a team in Spain and India and China, and they're all like making different VR games, and some of them haven't even been announced yet, which is really cool to know that they want. And I spoke to someone, and they said they're looking for just interesting stuff. They're not looking for like plain Jane. They want like strange things. Yeah. Which is why we get games like Here They Lie and stuff at like the launch title, which is nuts if you guys haven't checked that one out.
Also, just a thing on the PSVR community, and I know this is a little bit different than what you were talking about there, but if you've ever been on the PSVR subreddit, you ever notice how excited all of the people who are talking about a new game are? Like, they're all just like bright-eyed and happy and excited about the things. It seems like, or at least that's what it looks like for me. And then sometimes you'll go on like the Oculus subreddit or the VIII subreddit, and they're just so like nasty. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's age. That's age too. Yeah, because it used to be even more positive on the PSVR subreddit, and it's just those Reddits are older. As all Reddits I've noticed, they just slowly go more toxic as time goes by.
But it's not only kids. It's also because, I mean, again, like on PC, we are kind of spoiled. We get so many more releases every week than the PlayStation gets. Well, the PlayStation gets one maybe a week or maybe in a month, and then it's a good one. Well, we have to deal with what is good, what is bad. We don't know anymore. Like, we are getting tricked all the time. You know, on PC, it's the Wild West. You have no clue. Sometimes screenshots look nice and it got rendered in the Unreal Engine, and it's like, wow, amazing, and this story is so exciting. But like, the excitement gets killed because some developers want to abuse people to make just a quick buck, you know? Well, on PlayStation VR, again, they are very protective. They seem to know what they are doing. Quality control is there. You know, well, on PC, there are so many things that, you know, the trust is sometimes getting killed off by games that are a total waste of your time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So Sony,
like those $1.99 titles.
Yeah, exactly.
Where you're just like, I guess I could grab it. It looks okay, and then you get it, and it's just trash. And you're like, I wasted $2, which is nothing. But like, if 5,000 people wasted $2, then like they made 10,000 just wasted dollars.
I mean, if I would recommend someone buying a PlayStation VR, I don't really need to worry about what is going to happen next. Well, on PC, it's like, watch out because this and that and that and that. You know, so it's a closed system, and that's why it works so well. You know, so yeah, they done pretty well. If you think
good.
I think
they're still.
Go on, sorry, dude.
Mike, oh no, I was just gonna say, and they're just pushing into next year. We just keep getting more news, which is nice. It's not like they're like slowing down; it just keeps ramping up. But yeah, Mike.
Yeah, totally. And I was just gonna say, like, I know you mentioned about the price drop. I read something today that Sony announced that they're going to be doing a bundle with the camera now. So it's going to be the same price.
Oh yeah, that's a little ways back. Yeah, but yeah, exactly. They already did a price drop, which is nice. But I'm thinking they might do another $50 one for like the full bundle for the anniversary.
Yeah, and I think personally, like, the only thing that I would say with the Sony platform is that, you know, they've just got to change those controllers up, man. That's the only thing that puts me off actually getting into PSVR is the controllers. I don't like them.
Yeah, they're business people at the end of the day. You can't forget that. They're like some of the like smarter ones with stock issues. And I think that they have some in development, but they're smart enough not to tell us because they know we're going to stop buying the old ones if they say they got new ones coming. So I think it's just going to be like they're coming out and then a month later they're going to be out. Like that, like Bethesda way of doing it. That's way smarter.
It's extremely smart because those moves, like they were still from the PlayStation 3. They weren't really selling that well, you know, and everyone was buying them, you know. I was actually looking for them everywhere, and everyone was trying to get it from everywhere. Now. So it's like, you know, they are forgotten, and then suddenly they are the most popular thing everyone needs. Well, they're so old. Yeah. You know,
and they work pretty damn well for how old they are. Honestly, you got to give them that. It's like 5-year-old technology, and it's killing it.
So if we knew what we knew now, we would have bought a shed load of those controllers back in the day and stockpiled them for when VR came out. Who would have known? Who would have known?
Yeah, no, but it's the same with the camera. It's just that, in my opinion, I mean, the for the price, the controllers are fine. You know, that's why it's also very cheap because the technology is kind of outdated, but it works. But it's just, for me, the deal breaker was the cables. You know, the cables that I need to have everywhere, because there are a lot of cables coming in and out of it. You know, there's like one HDMI going to the PlayStation, then it goes to that thing again, and it's like, I don't know, like for if you got a living room, for example, and have that many cables.
Yeah, you got to work on management. I feel you. The first days I got it, it was just trash. But after like now I've done them for a month or so, and I'm able to hide them a little bit. But yeah, it's got a decent number of cables. Yeah. But then again, the VIIV's got a crap load of cables too. It's got the same little like breaker box. You know what I mean? True. Yeah. And so when I was setting it up, I was like, oh, they kind of did it like the PlayStation VR with like the little box, which is smart. I think a little bit.
Yeah, no, that's right. No, but for the price, it's totally fair, and also like that power system you have that keeps it like cool, you know, and keeps it like running. It's that's it. Like they made a very smart system, you know. And that's what I like about PlayStation themselves and about the developers. They are very creative, you know. They got less to work with, but they are very smart in how they do it, you know, and also with the games. Smart. Like they look so nice, the games. And let's be honest, the PlayStation Pro, it's pretty strong compared to PC. It's of course nothing, but still it looks so nice. They have been so smart in how they made everything, how it renders. So yeah, again, they are on the top of VR.
And they actually have they still are. What's it called? When the Xbox One X comes out, they're going to start pushing this new like platform or whatever thing they built into the architecture of, I think the Pro and maybe the old one, where they can run a lot of it on the online side, so we can get better like rendered games without having to like change up your hardware, which will be nice when that happens too. So like they're ready for the future too, which is good.
I mean,
it's going to be an always online future, but I'm cool with that.
I'd be interested to know in the chat how many of you guys are actually rocking a PSVR out there, and you know what sort of headsets are you guys running. Yeah, I'd be interested to know.
So do you have any like plans, by the way, for you know, the anniversary? Because I mean, you're the VR channel for PlayStation. Like
I got a now, especially now that I have the other two like major HMDs, I have a very nice video that I think the PSVR owners are gonna like, because like I can do a nice comparison finally, and like what we're talking about now, there are a ton of reasons why you'd want a PlayStation VR over a VIIV or a Rift. Like, not dissing them, not saying they're bad systems, because they're amazing, but there's a ton of reasons why, and I'm just gonna talk about that why. Just a nice sales video, you know what I mean? Like a nice, spent a year with it, all these great things have come out, all the things that are coming out in this next year, and just it's a bright future, which is good.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. So talking about PSVR, and this kind of brings me on nicely to the next topic, which is Rec Room. So Rec Room is coming to PSVR, and I think that's just totally awesome. The devs are called Against Gravity, and they say they're going to be bringing Rec Room to PSVR by the Q4 of this year. So hopefully by Christmas we'll be able to play with PSVR players. And this is the best thing about it. I love this. It's going to be cross-platform play with Rift and VIIV owners. So we're going to all have this amazing virtual reality community hub in Rec Room, you know, where we can all talk to each other.
All together.
Yeah. And I just think that is the most amazing thing. Like, I just love this idea.
And another very cool thing, just real quick, is that if you don't have PlayStation Plus, but you have a PlayStation VR and you want to play, you do not have to buy that subscription. So you're going to be able to play Rec Room without a subscription.
That's a very good move.
Yep, free without a subscription. So anybody can, from the day they get their headset, have an awesome like online community with tons of little mini games to play for free, which is nice.
Amazing. Damn. Okay. Sony.
Like that game is going to blow up on PlayStation.
Oh, hell yeah, it's free.
Much bigger player base than PC.
Yeah, it'll be nuts.
Oh, it's going to be a lot of kids though, but yeah, exactly. It's going to blow up.
There's a lot of kids just on like VIIV and everything already.
Yeah, but it seems like they are not very amused by it, or they want to like filter it out in a way. Because every time I join, it's like, just say that you are 12 plus, and then you can join. Yeah. So it's like they are trying to stop it in a way.
Yeah.
Really?
Because as an adult or as someone that just wants to play casually, it's kind of, you know,
it can get annoying.
It's kind of weird indeed. So
I don't want to do that.
You go into the lobby and all you hear is just like yelling or like this weird
guys,
talking about random
like, let's
stuff.
be honest here. How many games did you play where you're actually trying to communicate with a 4 or 5-year-old boy or girl? Like, that never happens.
No.
And you can really feel like the gap of age then, and it doesn't make any sense. So it's like, yeah, maybe
and
they
VR
should
is
make...
like so, yeah. VR
Yeah,
is
no,
so
but it's-
like immersive that you're just like, okay, so I'm just like hanging out with like a bunch of 8-year-olds. Like this is kind of.
But Frank, do you think that Rec Room is going to be the most played game on PlayStation VR?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, because that's what everybody's been wanting for day one. It's like a nice like social game. And that's just the kind of communities PlayStation's always like had. Like they've always had like a home. They've always had people that had some kind of like social like hub thing. And I think that I really think that one's gonna blow up like crazy. Because I mean, even playing it now, like I can tell from the Quest, people are gonna love meeting up and like doing the little fist bump to like join the teams and like decking out their dorm room, and like the PlayStation users are gonna poop for that, which is nice. I'm glad that they're like bringing it over, and I'm excited to try the beta. And yeah, that's the thing. They're running a beta, and if you live in North America, I think you could sign up now and you can test it before it even comes out, which is cool.
Yeah. And I think this is the craziest thing about this developer against Gravity and Rec Room as a whole, because like if you look at Rec Room, it's got this amazing community. It's a free game. They've never charged for anything. They keep on adding new features, new quests. And what amazes me about this is that it's still free. There's no ads. There's no microtransactions. And it's just like, how is this thing even possible? You know, it amazes me. Somehow they must make it work, or they've got a plan for the future maybe. But it just amazes me how they get this to work.
I have a strong feeling, now I don't want to, maybe not, but I have a strong feeling once it comes over to console, we may see some microtransactions.
Okay.
Because PlayStation's really, I mean, consoles, like you just see way more microtransactions, I think.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Yeah, but then what you're saying here is because the PlayStation VR version is linked to the Steam edition and the Oculus Home, then we are getting involved too as PC.
Yeah.
So then it might. I don't know.
Retroactive.
But I think people will accept it, and
like
it's
cosmetic.
fine. As long as it's not a pay-to-win thing. And that's right. Like, Rec Room is not a game that really matters where someone loses or wins. I think they are waiting for that extra player base to arrive, because
before they try to charge. Yeah, me too. That's what I'm saying, because they want people to want to play it. And then if somebody wants to buy like a shiny silver like neon sequin dress to wear when they're in Rec Room, they could pay that extra like $2. But that's up to you.
I'd pay to do that. I'd pay to do that, definitely.
Exactly. Or like have a mermaid tail or something, you know what I mean? Yeah, like premium avatars, I could easily see happening.
Well, maybe we should invite someone over from their development studio to talk to us about this and see what they have planned. Cool. So yeah, maybe we can do that. Sounds good, because they are kind of like mysterious as a company, you know? They don't seem to be very like outspoken on Twitter or anything. They just do their thing. No one hates the game. It just works. It's one of the popular ones out there, and
they may just not spend money on PR. Exactly.
Yeah,
it's just that like the game is just that Wii kind of game, you know. It's kind of like Nintendo. It's kind of like a Nintendo VR game, you know.
Yeah, that's what it feels like completely, and it's really polished. It's good.
It's very cozy, and they were also one of the first ones using those face things where you hit someone and they do like a funny face. So it's really like, I have the feeling that people are alive in that game when I play with them.
And like
I really feel like we are there together.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those titles that anyone that gets into VR and is looking for titles to download and play, it's always one that I recommend, just because it's free and it is awesome. And it's actually funny because I went into Rec Room, and I know a lot of you guys say, you know, there's a lot of kids and people in there just messing around. So I was like, you know, instead of being trolled, I'm going to go in there as a bit of a troll myself. And I got like I downloaded like a Rick and Morty soundboard. And basically I was just running around the game, playing paintball and screaming like Pickle Rick at everyone. And it was driving people... Pickle Rick! It was driving people insane. But we all had a lot of fun, and we got swifty at the end and had a little dance off, and it was all kind of cool. But yeah, it's definitely an amazing virtual reality hub, I would call it, you know, that all these sort of virtual reality users can get together in the future, talk to each other and play together. And I just think that is awesome. And it's something that definitely, I wish more developers would get involved in making their games cross-platform so we can all play together. And there isn't this kind of divide between people that want to experience VR. Yeah.
It is probably worth mentioning that, oddly enough, this whole VR thing has created probably more cross-platform. Even though it's not, super widespread on VR, it's probably more widespread to have the idea to do cross-platform than on regular consoles and everything. I mean, I feel like I never see it on regular consoles, and at least on VR, if somebody says, hey, we're trying to do this.
Depends. I mean, PlayStation is pretty open about it. I mean, I'm playing a lot of Rocket League, and we play together with people from PlayStation Network, so it's there. But you're right, but they also have to, because otherwise it's not going to work. And I think developers are also telling Sony, like, hey, come on, let's do this, because we don't have that many people to.
Warzone just came out.
Also worth mentioning, Sony was actually the last ones to join on Rocket League because they didn't want their community part of that. I remember reading something about Sony being actually against that for a while.
They were, but in the end they did it, and Xbox is not doing it. You can't play with people from Xbox. So it seems like VR is bringing more people together, but it's also because the player base is too small. If it was bigger and everyone has their own, party going on, then trust me, then no one is interested in each other. But right now they have to share to go to a higher level,
Yeah,
which I think is great.
I think I read something.
Yeah, enjoy it for now.
Yeah, exactly.
As long as it lasts. Happy family.
And then we'll worry about it later. Yeah. We got to work together now.
Yeah. So I just want to throw it out there to the chat. Have you guys got any questions just before we ask what games we're playing and stuff that we got planned this week coming up? I don't know if any one of you guys can just sort of moderate the chat a little bit.
It's kind of funny, by the way, that every time I talk about PlayStation VR, I don't play with it that much anymore, but it makes me very happy in a way.
Oh yeah, totally.
Well, with the Vive and the Rift, I got my depressive moments where I'm like, wow, the content out there, it really sucks. And with PlayStation VR, it just gives you that good feeling,
Mm-hmm.
It's just
you're happy when you buy it more often than you're just like.
Well,
I even
it's
played.
more so I'm happy with what they're doing, even though I don't use it that much, because I do get more excited about a lot of the Vive stuff, just because sometimes you can do more with it. I still prefer the things that PSVR does. I feel like they're always the ones trying to do and make the crazy amazing games or do all this stuff. So I mean, it's like you talk about PSVR more because they're doing more, but you end up playing more Vive.
I started to do news, you guys, for Rift and Vive news, and there's a lot of crossover between even Rift, Vive, and PlayStation VRs. I stay up to date every single day, but PlayStation has really got almost daily news. Something's happening, something's going on, and Oculus I can probably get 3 days a week. Vive I could probably do crazy because they're doing stuff all over the place. They're nuts, they're everywhere. But PlayStation's pretty solid with incoming data, which is nice.
Yeah. But if you think about it, PlayStation knows all their developers and what they are doing. Well, on Steam and Oculus, it's they sometimes have no clue that someone made a game for the headset, It's an ongoing stream. Well, the marketing of PlayStation, it's we market all the games that come out. Well, with Oculus and Vive, I've seen developers that are please tweet about us or say that our game is out, because otherwise no one will know that it's out on the platform. So
they
got
that
a strong thing going on,
which is nice.
Yeah,
I think that's more exclusive stuff. But I know what you mean. They push everything. They even make a PlayStation trailer, put it on EU, put it on UK, put it on normal. Which is I wish that there was more.
It's a big family. They also got PlayStation Access doing videos. Vive doesn't have that. Everyone is just uploading videos to YouTube and bam. But you're right.
Yeah, totally. Like you say about Oculus, I've seen it so many times just recently, and I tweeted them myself personally, and I was just like, what is going on with this? Because, like you say, with the support you get from PlayStation, that's very attractive as a developer. You're going to go, oh, okay, I'm going to go to their platform, I'm going to be featured on their store, I'm going to get a trailer, I'm going to get support from Sony. As a developer for Oculus right now, well, if you're a small studio, and your game's not like a AAA game, like, you know, Killing Floor Incursion or From Other Suns, then no one's going to hear about you until the day of the release. And like Nathie said, I think that's really unfair because you know, you want to bring more developers onto your platform and show them that you care about them and that you're going to support their game, because at the end of the day, their game is their baby, right? And they want to make sure that their baby's looked after. So it's a bit of a shame, and I think it's definitely something that Oculus can step up a little bit more in the future and start saying, you know, these games are coming out on these dates. This is where you can find out more information about these games, but they're just not doing that right now, which is a shame.
Yeah, it's hard to find release dates for those kind of things, which is nuts. PlayStation is like 7 blog posts about like what's coming out next week, and it's hard to find it for Oculus and Vive. You got to dig.
Yeah.
More like you just find it that day, and it's just like out on the store, and it's like, oh, here you go. And then they do a recap sometimes at the end of the week, but they only like include 1 or 2 games in the recap. It should be better done. I don't know. There's a bunch of little thingies, but what you gonna do? It's early. Okay. We're still early in VR, so
yeah, that's totally true. So, is there anything going on in the chat? Anyone want to ask any questions?
Someone asked about wireless.
Wireless?
Yeah, wireless.
VR.
Like TP-Link?
I would just say, do you guys wireless? Yes or no? That's it.
I'm not bothered about wireless right now, but I think it'll be something cool in the future.
I think we have been like.
But if it costs a lot of money, I don't care.
We also talked about this in like episode 2 of the podcast.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So I just want to go around just to find out what you guys have been up to this week, what games you've been playing, what you got planned coming up, any sort of plans for this weekend. I'll shoot Brometheus up first. What about you, dude?
You know, the interesting thing about that is, so I hadn't like recorded a new game in a little while, and I noticed, and I don't know if this is the same for you guys, but I feel like in this last week, I've gotten so many emails for new games coming out. So I was actually going to ask you guys which of these you think would be a good one to actually check out. I feel like I got this like deluge of new games to try out, and I'm excited to try and get to all of them, but I don't know if I will be because I have time now to be able to do this.
Yeah, so go for it. What you got?
Well, I'd have to look through my emails.
Oh, okay.
There's a ton of them.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I'm excited.
What I would recommend you playing right now is Xing the Land Beyond. Beautiful puzzle game. Really nice. Like, I played that 3 years ago on my Oculus Rift DK1. Very basic. That's what I'm talking about. That's one of those games. They have been in development for years, and then they bring it out, and then bam, nice. It's really cool.
Quality.
So that one is super cool to play. I also play Tractor Ball. It's pinball meets Mario Kart meets Rocket League. That could be really funny. I'm not sure if that multiplayer is going to be like very popular, but it's really funny. So if you haven't checked the video, then go to my channel. Advertisement right here. On my own channel. Wow.
On your channel.
I feel so bad for doing it together with you guys. I'm so ashamed of myself. And last but not least, I played Eternity Warriors. I would just wait until they update the game a bit more. The servers are not that stable. It's a wave-based shooter, by the way. So if you like that, then maybe you want to get it. Again, check out the review. And that's about it. So Austin, Tractor Ball, Xing the Land Beyond, and Duck Season. I finished that one thanks to Mike because he made a big video on it. He's like going crazy on that. So yeah, that's about it.
Nice.
I can dig it. I'm in.
What about you, Frank? What have you been playing, dude?
I've been playing, honestly, because I got the new headsets. I've played a little bit of everything. Yeah. So like I finally got to play raw data PvP, and it was nuts and so much fun. And I got rage quit on like 4 times because I kept teabagging the guys because I finally got to do that in VR, and it just feels so much better than it did in like a console game. And then I got to play Light Tracer on PlayStation VR, which actually surprised me, which is like a fun little, like, you control the world and this little tiny like Asian girl to like go to like the end of like the puzzle things. And they did it. It was from Oasis Games, and I had very, very, very low expectations, and they did a good job. And I was surprised. I don't know how deep it goes, the rabbit hole goes, but I was surprised by it, which is nice. And other than that, I've been working like crazy, so I haven't gotten to play so much, just more like little this and that. We talked about From Other Suns. It was really cool. Got to play that. And excited for what's coming out next week. There's some new stuff coming out next week. I just forgot right now.
Always.
Oh, there's always something new next week. I know there's something I want to play next week, and we'll talk about it soon.
So yeah, cool. So like Nathie said, I went back to duck season and I did some more of that game and uncovered a lot of the secrets, which were really fun. I did a video on that. I played some Rec Room, obviously with the Rick and Morty soundboard. That was just hilarious. But yeah, coming up, like I'm really excited to play From Other Suns. Talking about it with you guys has got me really hyped about this game, so I'm looking forward to checking that one out today. I also want to play Dimension Hunter at some point this week. It's one that I checked out.
Paradise mentioned that in the chat. Yeah.
Oh right, okay. Cool. Yeah, like I played the demo about 8 months ago when they first dropped the demo, and I really enjoyed it. It had like a really cool soundtrack. Yeah. And it was on rails, so it was a bit weird, like a bit different. So I'm kind of interested to check that one out. I've also got this though, which is really cool, and I want to show you guys. I got one of these bad boys today, which is
nice.
The Super Nintendo Classic. It's just so small.
Oh yeah.
It's just so small, and I just love that. So hopefully I'll get a chance to play some of that. And also another non-VR game that I want to spend a little bit of time on is Cuphead, which is just a crazy difficult game that looks like a retro cartoon.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of grabbing that one too.
Dude, like Cuphead in VR, you know, with that like third person,
the big screen.
Bam, man, that would be sick.
Yeah,
that would be sick.
Yeah. So yeah.
By the way, Dimension Hunter has free logo now, so
cool.
you don't have to play on rails anymore.
Yeah.
And it's coming to PlayStation VR. I think maybe like next month or month after that, which is nice too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So unless you guys have got anything else, or there's something in the comments that you want to talk about very briefly, we'll start wrapping it up.
Yeah, let's do 2 more questions, just like 2 quick ones, and then.
Do I see any? I'm looking.
See a lot of people. Thanks for joining, guys. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you guys, thanks for joining in. Hell yeah. And hit that thumbs up if you're enjoying this content, because, you know, hey, why not? I'll be the guy to say it.
Let's shoot for 10,000 likes.
Whoa.
Yeah, smash that like button, please, right? That's what you got to say.
I am thinking about getting a Vive. Should I wait for a new HMD or buy it?
I don't think you should wait.
It's going to be a while.
Yeah, if you wait, you probably won't have.
So if you want to get a Rift or a Vive right now, don't wait. It's not really. I expect like maybe somewhere next year.
Yeah.
Around this time that we might hear something else. Yeah, before the holidays they might announce.
You're right. Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely jump in now. Now's a good time.
Yeah, so that's going to be a year without VR. Who would want to do that to themselves?
And the thing is as well, like, you know, just get a Vive or an Oculus now, and then when the new one comes out, sell your old one to fund the new one. That's what I would do.
Yeah, because you'll still be able to get a good deal on it.
Yeah,
someone's going to want to buy it.
If anything, VR will just be even more popular at that point, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Last but not least, we got a question from Nimzo. He's like a guy, he's like an expert in locomotion, by the way, so beware. What do you guys want from a locomotion system? If you can give like one thing that a locomotion system should have, what is it?
I really think that if like you're holding on forward on the trigger and you go forward and you turn your head and your body kind of turns with it, I really like when they use that locomotion. Like it's better than having to like click a stick to turn.
Oh man, I cannot stand when the head, where your head is pointing, forces, because then you can't strafe. And like, especially if you're playing like a gun game, oh my God, I absolutely can't stand that, because I would like to have the like tactical ability to like look one way and move another direction. If my head is forcing me to go in one direction, it makes it so annoying and complicated to try. And
see, I haven't had that happen yet, but yeah, I can see where you fall into a problem. See, as long as they give me options, then I'm happy.
Yeah, and that is why the options is always a good thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the key to locomotion is options.
Yeah.
Like
and also
many options as possible.
Like I've not seen many people do this, but like a jump mechanic, where it's like kind of it works, where you maybe jump yourself. I mean, Nimso did that with Mario. I mean, I played this Mario demo. I had to jump on Goombas.
Oh yeah, that's cool
and dangerous.
Vivecraft does that, by the way. If you jump, your character will jump in Vivecraft.
Yeah.
It has been done, and it works pretty well. I mean,
yeah, or maybe what Sirento is doing, where you got that slow-mo jump, kind of ninja style, is also really nice. So yeah, hopefully he's gonna make, like, Nimso is working on all kinds of like demos with locomotion systems, and
Nice.
I gotta say he's doing a great job. So
Nice.
I don't mind the arm locomotion either. This like
no.
Vindicta, whatever, was the first one I got to try it with, and it's not bad. You know what I mean? It's okay. I could see it getting old and tiresome and not something you want to keep up with, but it's not. It's better than teleportation.
Definitely. Yeah. I agree with that.
So yeah, that's about it.
Nice one. So just going to wrap this up then, guys. So just to remind you all again that this podcast is live streamed every Saturday on Nathie's channel. You can tune into the show at 4 p.m. Central European Summer Time, 3 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, and 9 a.m. Pacific US Time. Obviously, if you missed the show live for whatever reason, you can catch up. I'll upload the full stream to my channel, which is obviously Virtual Reality Oasis, every Sunday, so you can catch up and see the podcast there. Obviously, if you've got any comments, I'll try my best to answer them there as well. So thanks again for watching, guys. I really appreciate everyone coming by and sort of making comments and getting involved. It's really, really awesome. We're having a ton of fun making this podcast right now, so hopefully we can continue doing this in the future. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much. Thanks.
It's been a blast.
Thanks, dudes.
Have a nice weekend.
Smooches.
See you then. Bye-bye.
Aloha.
See you in the metaverse.